Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Member for Funyula constituency, Professor Dr. Wilberforce Oundo.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. We were being worried that the debate was being hijacked by our female colleagues, yet the process leading to the child is a two-way traffic. It's very unlikely to happen one-way traffic, at least not in the conventional or the traditional way. Honorable Speaker, as I stand here to look at the Hague Convention on Civil Aspects of International Child Abduction, the Hague Convention on Jurisdiction Applicable Law, Recognition, Enforcement, and Cooperation in respect of parental responsibility and measures for the protection of children, and thirdly, the Hague Convention on International Recovery of Child Support and other forms of family maintenance. Honorable Speaker, it is being presented here pursuant to the relevant standing order, the question that requires any convention or any treaty must be ratified in this country for it to be part and parcel of the laws of Kenya. Standing order number 216 likewise compels the National Assembly to process any treaty that's presented before it. Honorable Speaker, we have raised these concerns in the past, that the treaty-making act is designed in such a way it never gives the people of Kenya, or the people of Kenya specifically, any chance to review and enrich these various treaties and conventions. It is given as it is, take it as it is, and the most drastic aspect, you either approve or reject it. But since it contains some positives concerning the people of Kenya, we have tended to approve it in its entirety, even though there could be points of objection. And probably, Honorable Speaker, links to the statement by the Registrar of Treaties in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Diaspora Affairs, Ambassador James Waweru, when he observed that there is, when you look at paragraph 78 of the report, that there is need to sensitize the judiciary and key government ministries and departments on the obligations under this convention. We are ratifying a treaty where probably the people, the organs that are mandated to implement the same, have not been sensitized adequately, and therefore we are going to spend very many years grouping the dark. But as we have always said, at any given time, the welfare and the best interest of the child should precede any technicalities. And that's why when I stand here today, I support the adoption of the various treaties. Honorable Speaker, let us be very clear from the word go that child protection, child welfare is a shared responsibility. And the Constitution clearly says a child belongs to both mother and father, regardless of the economic, political, social, or whatever status of either of the parents. And that's why you find our courts have been very progressive in the interpretation on the issue of child welfare, child custody, child maintenance between the various parties. Honorable Speaker, it has been a tendency in this country, and I want to echo the sentiment of Honorable Nganga, being the MP for Thika and Thika Road, which is the case example of children. The girls will wake up in the morning, they have children, but they are unable to distinguish between the same looking Chinese to know who is the father. They would walk there in the morning, all of them squinted eyes, they are unable to tell who is the father. I would want to imagine that there must be a process, either scientific or unscientific, that can allow our girls to identify among these Wazungus. You know, Wazungus, Chinese, and the rest at times tend to look the same, Honorable Speaker. So when you look at them like the Koreans, the Japanese, it's difficult to tell who the difference between the two. Honorable Speaker, if you would add just a second or a minute so that I drive a certain point.
That's okay.
Honorable Speaker, therefore, we must revert back That's why we are saying these conventions are not they're not domesticated. Because at times, once those guys run away, you know, they will take you to a ping pong game. Say, now let's go for DNA. They will look like, they go to DNA, it reads negative. So the girl is left in tears. He does not know who is actually the father of the child. So therefore, Honorable Speaker, as we domesticate this, we need to look at our various acts of big acts. And I'm happy Honorable Mili Odhiambo is here, who is a guru in this area. We must look at way of identifying, noting this. Honorable Speaker, again, we seem to insinuate that it's only the girls or the women who are affected. There are also very many cases where women are abandoning children in the village to go work in Dubai, in Arab countries, and fail for child support here. So this notion that it's only the women who are affected is misguided, and that's why some of the agendas being pursued by women activists and women groups get lost because they seem to only look at it from one angle. I would urge them to also, again, as you synthesize, as you talk, we must look at those women who abandon children in the villages. They go make money wherever they go and refuse to support. With those few remarks, Honorable Speaker, I support the motion. Thank you.
The Honorable Member for Suba North, Honorable Mili Odhiambo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me this opportunity to support the 3 conventions that have been presented.